Hello, my name is Mishael. I'm a current senior at the University of Maryland, and I'm applying to New York University's Mathematics and Finance MS program. And just a brief overview here in this video about a project that I've been working on that's really challenged me, that has some application and shows my quantitative, technical, and execution skills. So it started last year during the March Madness tournament when I was trying to determine some sort of economic profit on the March Madness games that were going on using some really basic principles of multiple linear regression. Didn't actually make any money during that tournament, but it sort of got the ball rolling on a hypothesis that I carried out around 2 to 3 months later, which was the idea of relating some what I thought to be more sophisticated and more reliable, more efficient market data and market odds, market probabilities from international markets to what I thought to be less efficient market probabilities and market odds in the American markets where sports betting was just becoming widely legalized. It started out doing this in a manual sense, and I was able to determine some notion of profitability while doing so. And eventually, what I ended up doing rather, was fully automate this process while still making the bets myself on a manual state, but actually determining which bets were profitable within a completely automated system. Uh, Now, having run the strategy for around 9 to 10 months, I've been able to accrue over $25,000 in profit with an average daily return on interest of around 5.5%, which is pretty impressive, considering the fact that I started with around just $100 in my FanDuel account when I was just playing around with different odds on different bookmaking sites. Um, uh, what was really challenging around this project was really just the whole thing. There are multiple challenges that I can talk about in this video, but I'll talk about just a couple. One of which was really just getting the data itself. So this eventually what I was able to do was connect to a relatively cheap and feasible API that gives me some notion of data from all the different American sportsbooks and all the different international sportsbooks. But before doing so, I tried to apply different things like web scrapers, which actually got me in trouble because you cannot use web scrapers on some of these sportsbook sites without getting, once you get caught, your IP will get banned. So eventually I said no to that idea and finally found an API that would work for me. A lot of the other APIs were extremely expensive, but that's neither here nor there. Eventually I was able to find a data source that was good enough for me to actually trade the strategy under. So essentially what this strategy looks to take advantage of is to take advantage of like discrepancies within prices and odds and probabilities on the same events in different markets. So in doing so, it has to have some notion of independence within the bets that you place, or else you're taking additional risk that you may not want to take on any specific event or any specific player within any specific event that might not be prudent for your strategy's performance. And this is a problem that I had early on when I was betting on a lot of different soccer games, where I would bet more specifically on correlated outcomes within those soccer games. So essentially, I would say, well, in a more specific sense, if I was betting on the amount of corner kicks, I might bet over 10.5 corner kicks in one game, and in the same game bet over 9.5 corner kicks. But not over when I bet the first bet over 10.5 corner kicks is an implicit bet. It's implicitly betting that second bet that's over 9.5 corner kicks. Because if one hits, if 10.5 corner kicks hits, 9.5 corner kicks definitely hit. So these sort of correlated bets were a real struggle for me to sort of see the effect of early on. But it actually caused a big difference in my trading strategy. So around 4 to 5 months, I was actually flat within this strategy. I didn't make or lose any money. And it didn't take until I was able to deconstruct the system from the bottom up. Granted, I was the person that built the system, but deconstructed from the bottom up, where I was able to find the error in my execution, not necessarily the mathematical principles or the technological implementation that I was looking at, but actually the execution of my algorithm, where I was actually having some errors. And that was actually causing me not to realize the profit that I should have been realizing. Ever since I was able to fix that, like I said, over the past, I'd say like 4 to 5 months after that, we were able to make over $25,000 and then realize the profits that were supposed to have been realized the entire time. But that sort of critical thinking and problem solving approach is what I look to bring to any sort of realm of quantitative finance. Really looking to see on a step-by-step basis, what are we implicitly saying? Where are our hidden risks when we make any sort of trading strategy and execute it on a day-to-day basis? What are we actually saying? What's implicit to us winning within this strategy? What's implicit to us losing within this strategy? And then conducting analysis. What I'm working with now is some different professors to conduct some more sophisticated analysis on the different payout data, return on interest data that I have, which I think is really interesting and something I hope to carry on with moving forward. But that's just a little bit about me and a different project that I've been working on. I look forward to being considered for your program and hope you find value in the rest of my application.